Hello guys, welcome back to the 24th Java tutorial. This would be a short tutorial about two more looping statements. One would be do while loop and the other would be for loop. We have already covered while loop, so the remaining two we would try to cover in this tutorial. Okay, starting with do while loop. It's just similar to while loop. Let me just give you a quick revision of what while loop was. We used to have something, any variable, let that be defined as 10, and say I want to print, okay, let it be a counter, and say I want to print the value of counter again and again. So what would I do? I would just simply write it in a while loop with some condition inside, and then within that while loop I would write something that I want to print multiple times. This is what while loop was. Okay, so now do while loop is just similar to that. Let me just write it and then you'll understand. Int counter equals 0, and do while loop is written like this. You write do, just do, and open its braces, and then within the braces you write the statement that you want to print or be processed multiple times. So I'm just gonna write a simple system dot out dot println the value the value of counter is plus counter. Then the only difference between while loop and do while loop, as you might see here, up to this point we have not given any condition based on what the loop would run. So the condition is given in do while loop right after the ending scope of do. Here I would write while and then the condition while counter is less than 10, and then I put semicolon. So what this does is, no matter what the value of counter is, for the first time whenever the loop starts, this do condition the do statement would be executed the first time. No matter what the value of counter is, this do statement would be executed once, just once, and based on the value of counter or based on the condition within the while, it would decide whether or not to be executed again. So say it will run, and I have to put something to prevent it going from in infinite loop. So what I would do, I would just do counter plus plus. So this would prevent going the loop in infinite loop. So what this would do, it would run when I run it, it would, okay, hold on, there's something. Okay, I don't want to run the second class, it's just redundant. We used it for the last tutorial. We just want to run this class. So as you can see, we have run this class and we have got the output just similar to the one we got in the while loop statement. But the only difference in while and do while is, in do while, no matter what the condition is, no matter either the condition is true or false given in here, the statement within do would run at least once. Say I put counter equals to 10, so this would make this condition false, as 10 is not less than 10. So had this been a while loop, none of the statement wouldn't have even run once, but since it is a do while loop, the statement would run once. Let's see. Okay, there you go. The value of counter is 10, and that is all. So that's what do while loop is, excuse me. And the next type of loop is for loop. just get rid of this. Now what for loop is, it's just another type of loop where you write for, and within for you declare a counter. That counter can be anything, that can be int I, and then you initialize it to something. Let's initialize it to 0, and then you put semicolon, and then after semicolon you give a condition based on which the body of this for loop would run. So let's just give the condition I is less than 10, and then you put another semicolon, and then you increase the value of I. You post increment it like this, and then you give the condition that you want to have executed several times. So again, system.out.println, the value of counter is, I'm just gonna put counter. So it would run. Okay, let's see from the beginning. Counter, okay, it's not counter, actually it's I. I'm sorry, because I've declared counter as I here. Counter is nothing but a variable that has its value increased after every iteration. Iteration is the number of passes, means how many number of times this body of for loop would be executed. Those are known as iterations. Okay, so what would happen when I equals to 0? It would, I is initialized to 0 from the beginning, where we write int I equals to 0. Okay, then we'll check the condition, and the condition says I is less than 10. Okay, so it will compare 0 is less than 10, true. Then right after here it will come here. It won't go here directly. After here it would first come to the body of the loop. If the condition is true, it would come to the body of the loop, and it would execute the body of the loop and print whatever it has to print. And then after dealing with this body, it would go to the incrementation part. So it would be now I++. It'll again come here to the checking condition. Now I has become 1. So 1 is less than 10. Yes, true. Then we'll again execute the loop of the body. Body of the loop. I'm sorry for that. And then again it will come here and get incremented by 1. Now the value of I would be 2. So again it will check the condition 2 is less than 10, and again and again and again and again, as long as the condition becomes false. Say I++ now becomes 10. So 10 less than 10 is not true, and since it is not true, this body will not be executed, and it would come out of the loop. So if I run this program, I would get all the values of counter from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but not 10. And why is that? Because as soon as the value of I became 10, this expression, this condition became false, and it did not execute for I equals to 10. So we didn't get I equals to 10 printed. So that's pretty much all about for loop. It's very easy. It's nothing that big of a deal to understand. Okay, that's all of it I had to share in this tutorial. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. If you still have any questions, you can comment like always I say, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Okay, bye.